Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk about something that's quite difficult to talk about actually. Um, I wasn't sure whether to do it. In fact, I wasn't even sure whether I was going to carry on doing the video blogs. But somebody that I talk to quite regularly now, he said he took comfort from one of my videos, so I thought I'd carry on. And document my journey and talk about some of my experiences rather than just writing about them. Today, I want to talk about what happened to me 8 years ago. Well, I say what happened to me, what I did to myself. And 8 years ago, I ended up in hospital with an overdose. I took about 100 aspirin and with a bottle of red wine, and did some quite serious deep incisions into my arms and to my legs. And this is really difficult to talk about. It feels really serious, and it feels like I just want to switch the off button now and not put this up, because it's not meant to make anybody feel uncomfortable in any way at all. And I'm not telling you this because I want any sympathy or anything. I don't, and if you find this kind of thing uncomfortable, then I would say stop watching, because it's just going to get worse. Because I'm not somebody who's just going to put a nice sheen onto it. So I guess I was in a really bad place 8 years ago. I was in a really destructive relationship. I was my last year of university doing law, which I just didn't feel comfortable doing at all. I picked law because I felt like it was a way to make me feel less stupid. Getting into university in the first place was like a massive deal for me, and then doing law, it was almost like I thought that was it. I had it made if I picked the right subject in something really smart and managed to finish my degree and become a lawyer, that everything else would sort itself out. So I think I kind of, in my final year, the pressure of that, the really crappy relationship. I'd lost a lot of friends as well, or found out that my friends at uni, some of my friends at uni weren't really friends. And one night, I didn't want to die. I just wanted to go away. I wanted to sleep for a really long time and just let everything that I felt so out of control, so out, like it was like I couldn't get a handle on myself. I couldn't get a handle on my relationship, on anything. My mum was really poorly at that point. She was in hospital, and it just, all of it felt like a whirlwind around me, like in and out of my head. And I just felt like I couldn't stop. It was just so, it's really hard to explain. I just wanted it all to stop. Just wanted to stand still, just for like a minute, and stop my head and my heart and just the pain of everything. And so I went to the university shop, and I bought, like, I can't even remember, like 4 packets of aspirin. I know that I took about 100. I know I took them with wine, like a bottle of wine. And then I don't even remember what I used. I think it was a pair of scissors or a razor, and I cut my arms, which I'd done before, and then I cut my legs, which I'd never done before. And I remember getting really, really close to one of my veins in my arm, and it really scared me, because deep down I didn't want to die, but I didn't know what to do anymore. and I didn't know how to escape my life. And then I remember feeling obviously really poorly, and I phoned the ambulance. And it was like the worst experience of my life, because ultimately I think I just wanted to be taken care of. And I think because it was self-inflicted, when you go to hospital for something like that, you do not get any sympathy. And I do understand that, there are people who are in accidents and, life-threatening illnesses that they haven't done to themselves. And there I was wasting NHS resources because what probably seems to them some poor little, preppy uni student who couldn't deal with the pressure of uni studies, had decided to take a few too many tablets, and it felt like I wasn't treated like a patient or a person. I was just it was just not right. It was just awful. And I have to say that experience alone would stop me from ever trying anything like that again. And the irony of it was that, taking a load of aspirin doesn't make you sleep. It just makes you really sick. And I just remember my body desperately trying to get rid of the poison that I ingested, and I was heaving and nothing was coming out, but I could just, my whole body was trying to reject the contents of what I'd taken. And in the end, they just put me on a load of drips to hydrate me, and I butterfly stitches for the deeper cuts on my legs and on my arm. And I was in the hospital bed for about a day, and eventually I let them call my dad, who was a few hours away, and he came, and it must have been the worst thing in the world for him to see his little girl so broken. I'm sorry that this is an emotional email. I don't think I've actually really talked about this before. I have dealt with it. Otherwise, I couldn't talk about it. But it was probably one of the most horrific things to have gone through, and it wasn't what I really wanted. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to cause hurt and pain to the people that love me. A lot of people don't know this about me, so there's people going to be watching this that know me, and they're going to be really shocked, I think, because I come across as somebody who's quite together, and to find out that I wasn't. I'm sorry, I keep saying but I think people are going to be shocked. But that's why I think it's important to tell this story, because I was in a really dark place, one that I couldn't imagine ever being again, and one that I know I won't be in again. And most importantly, I know I can get myself out because I've done it. And that's what I want other people to realise, is that no matter how deep and dark the thoughts and how lost and hopeless your situation feels right now, I know and I understand, and I don't want anybody to feel like they're alone in this. I don't really know what else to say. This wasn't like a planned blog. I actually feel really happy today. Well done, Danny. Bring down the mood. But I don't know what to say. It's one of those things that I should probably be quite ashamed about, but I'm not. because I think if you try and forget your past, or you're ashamed of it, you forget how far you've come. And I think it's really important to realise that you've come a really long way and that you've achieved something personally. I think we're always so stuck on, the professional, like how far can we get in our careers, and how far we get in our, personally and with ourselves is almost more important. But I also think it's really important to remember things like that, to grow. I have a great deal of respect and understanding for people who just want things to stop, because I understand how that feels, and I understand that it's not always as simple as what other people say is just a cry for help. Sometimes you really just don't want to carry on living the way you're living, but you just don't know how to stop the destructive patterns and behaviours. I found a much more successful way of stopping when I get stressed. Obviously, I'm a completely different person now. I'm not. I'm still me. I just know who I am now, and I didn't back then. It was like a frantic search for myself, and I'm not very lucky. I'm just very determined to not let what happened or what I did to myself define who I am now. And that's really important. I think sometimes we are so worried that our past defines our future, and it doesn't have to be that way. You have a choice every day to make your life what you want it, no matter what happened yesterday or last year or 10 years ago. If you don't want to be the person or to act in that way, or think, even if you don't want to think in that way that makes you broken, then you have a choice not to be that. And I chose that I didn't want to go through an experience like that again, and put the people that I love through an experience like that again. And it was 8 years ago, and it wasn't an overnight thing, and I was put on antidepressants, which did their job. They placated me. They capped my feelings from the good and the bad, sadly. But at the time, capping the good feelings was worth capping the bad, because I didn't know how. I had no way out. It felt like there was no way out. I felt like I cornered myself, and there are lots of other stories and experiences that I won't go into now, because I don't want to make these videos too long. But I'm here now, and I'm more than okay. And I want everyone to know that it's possible to do that, and that you can do that. You really can. It's there within you. It's just about knowing how to use those tools within you, and how to ask the right questions, do the right things. So I really hope this hasn't bummed anybody out, because it shouldn't. It's not a bad story. It's a good story. It's a positive story. And if anybody wants to talk to me more about my experience, please feel free to contact me through my blog. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. So take care, and I shall see you all again soon. Thank you.